Welcome back. Our next guest is a teacher and a musician, but he couldn't focus on work because he was too stressed about money. He was working 2 to 3 jobs just to keep up.
Eventually he found help, but he says the hardest part was making that very first phone call. We're thankful that Keith Carpenter had the courage to come on the Morning Blend and share his story with all of us. Keith turned to Jamie Miller at Miller & Miller Law, and Jamie's latest book is The Secrets About Bankruptcy That They Don't Want You to Know. It answers the basic questions about bankruptcy and offers a unique 3-step process to raising your credit score, which is very important as well. Thanks for being here, you guys.
Thank you.
Great to see you both.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Keith, thank you, as Molly said, for coming in today.
My pleasure.
Let's talk a little bit about that first step. That was really the most difficult for you. What kind of got you to that first step so you could make the call?
Well, I think it was just having so many phone calls coming in saying we want our money, and eventually just having had enough of that, I ginned up the courage to give him a call, and I don't regret it at all.
That's great. Do you think a lot of people would be surprised at how quickly you can go from being kind of okay to being in a place where you just can't pay all the bills that are coming in?
Well, all it takes is losing your job and some bad luck. And that's exactly what happened to us. And once the bad luck started coming, it just started snowballing. And once the snowball started rolling, it wasn't long before we were underneath it. So.
Yeah, I think that's very true. What drew you to Miller & Miller?
Well, actually, it was my brother-in-law, who is an attorney down in Texas, who has done work here in Wisconsin. And I asked, well, who are the best people to go to?
Yeah.
And they recommended that I call Miller & Miller.
Very cool.
Do you think one of the things, Jamie, because I think your books are really helpful to people, it's sort of like a non-threatening way to get really good information, maybe even before making that call. Do you think that's important to have that out there as a way of helping people who are struggling with debt?
Yeah, it's really important because making that first call is such a challenge, and for me and for my staff to be able to send out information that they can look at in their home and understand the process before they come in. It just helps everything.
Mm-hmm. For you guys, you said life was pretty tough, but you were working 2 to 3 jobs just to try and pay off these bills.
I was teaching and working another job. It was rough. It was a lot of hours.
Mm-hmm. What changed then when you hired Miller & Miller?
A lot. One was just the pressure, the phone calls that just never stopped coming, immediately ceased. And it was actually quite pleasurable to be able to tell them that stop calling me and talk to these guys instead. So that was actually a bit of revenge for me. So.
Yeah, you're like, knock it off.
There you go. What was the process like?
It wasn't bad at all. The worst thing about it for me was probably just gathering all the proper paperwork up. A typical professor, I have a very poor filing system, so that took me a while to kind of get all the proper paperwork in order and to them at the right time.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times people don't get help because they're so afraid. They're afraid of losing things. What really happened for you? What were you afraid of, and what actually happened?
You know, I was afraid of, I think, the admission of, oh my gosh, I'm in this position I never thought I would be in, and the admission of, oh my gosh, I'm here, and just saying to myself, just do it. And I did, and I had butterflies in my stomach and all those things. But once I made the phone call, it was no sweat.
Yeah.
And what's life like now? You can focus on the one job, hopefully.
Right, it's a million times better. Yeah, I'm doing what I love instead of what I have to do. So, which is what can you ask for?
And I know that's a real source you're grateful that you're able to help people, and I'm sure it's very rewarding because people are sort of not living their lives when you're stressed out and you're in debt and you're working all these jobs and not doing what you went to school to do or what you love to do.
Keith really exemplifies what our mission is. It's to have somebody who has a problem to be able to come in and to present their options. Bankruptcy is not always the option, it's one of them. We want to always present them the opportunity to decide what's best for them, and then we give them the path and show them the path to their credit, getting rid of the debt, getting a better credit score. And Keith's getting credit now. He just filed bankruptcy a year ago.
Yeah.
And things are much better for him, and he's living the life that he wants to live.
One of the beautiful things I know too about what you do is even after that. So you help people through that process, but then after that, it's helping them rebuild their credit.
Right, and it's something that we include with every bankruptcy. And people ask me, well, I don't want the credit improvement program. Well, you don't have a choice. It's no extra cost. It's something that we do for everybody that comes into the office, because we know what it's like a year out after the bankruptcy or 2 years out when somebody wants to get a car loan or get a mortgage. We want them to be able to achieve and reach those goals. And that's why we put the entire process in place to help them meet their goals long term.
Yeah, a lot of people are afraid of losing a house or car. A lot of people don't lose those things, right?
Exactly. Wisconsin has very friendly exemption laws that protect people's assets, and we're permitted to do pre-bankruptcy planning, but it's really rare that someone's going to lose something when they file for bankruptcy.
How do people get a copy of your book? Because as Molly mentioned, like a lot of times you can either know if you need to make that call, or you can help yourself get started in the process just by reading through some of the steps that you have in that book.
Right, so they can either call the office and we're happy to mail them a copy of the book. They can go to our website at milwaukeebankruptcy.com and just click the button, send book, and we'll get it out to them right away.
You also offer free strategy sessions and meetings to kind of look at a person's personal situation and come up with those options, as you mentioned, right?
Right, absolutely. So someone can come in, we give them a copy of the book if they don't have it already. We review their situation, go through all their options, and after that meeting, they leave with a path of, or a plan of how they're going to resolve their problem.
How's teaching going now, Keith?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah?
I love it.
Doing your passion again, doing
Yeah,
what
exactly.
you love.
Yeah, making music, doing what I love. Yes.
Good for
Congratulations.
you. Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
for
Thank you.
sharing your story.
Appreciate
I think it helps a lot of people, especially
I
when
do
they
too.
see someone who's got a great education and doing something that they're passionate about, that these things can happen. But there is help. There's a lot of hope, too. You can call right now at 414-376-6363 for a free book. That's for the first 97 callers, plus a free identity theft guide. So again, the number 414-376-6363. Not sure how you chose 97
I
callers,
know.
but
People
good.
always ask me
Yeah,
that.
97 copies, maybe.
But that 98th person we'll take care of too.
All right,
Okay.
I love it.
But 99th, you're out of luck.
Thanks so much, you guys. We
Appreciate it.
your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.